Hello to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5 a.m. Club. It's lunchtime. It's Friday. I'm down in the city on George Street, and I'm about to just head off and do a 5 a.m. club. So bear with me. I'll just do a 360 just to see where I'm standing and what it all looks like. And here we go. Where should we go? What should we talk about? The theme for today's 5 a.m. club is going to be one of time management and how to be more effective with your time and how to get more out of your day. And the book summary is entitled The Pomodoro Technique, and it's by an author named Francesco Cirillo, who talks about the Pomodoro technique. And it's a simple sort of technique, and it's all about chunking down work into manageable time slots. And the time slots that he talks about or uses is a time slot between 20 and 40 minutes, depending on what suits your time. But this whole book is all about focused effort in small chunks of time. So what he basically talks about is breaking it all up into minute time blocks to make work easier. And you basically allocate some time, allocate a task, and you just work continuously, uninterrupted, for that amount of time, and then you take a break. So it could be 20 minutes with a 5-minute break, or 30 minutes with a 5-minute break, or 40 minutes with a 10-minute break. It's up to you to determine what your time is. But once you've allocated a time, the author suggests is that you stick to that time and use up that whole time slot to do the allocated task, and then to have a break. And once you get into it, and once you master this technique, then you're well on your way to becoming very, very productive and as successful as you need to be a leader in your field. So let's go through now each of the points, the 3 key points of this book. The point number 1 is to break your time down or your work down into small time blocks, as we discussed before. So there's a bit of planning and a bit of scheduling required. And he said a typical sort of structure that he uses is a 25-5. So 25 minutes of work and 5 minutes of break. But it's 25 minutes, as we said before, of focused work, followed by a 5-minute break. And once again, let's just reiterate, a focused effort means no interruptions, and a break means a break. So once we've got all that sorted out in our minds, then we're in a position to talk about it a little bit more. Because what the author says is that when you work continuously for 25 minutes, it's more than enough time. 25 minutes is more than enough time to make substantial progress, because this technique forces you to define your tasks well enough in advance to be able to break it down into a useful sort of chunk. And by doing it in advance, you're in a position to then work at it and crank out as much productivity as possible. So much so that the author says that 40 20-minute sessions should and will deliver more productivity than most people can deliver in a 40-hour week of distracted work. The key here, the key point, is that less is more. So just moving on to a second point from this author in this book, And the author talks about the ability for us to use physical stimuli to develop flow and focus. So this technique is all about getting into a state of flow. And the question is, how do we get into that state of flow? And he says the way to do it, potentially, is to use a timer. And the author says, or uses, a Pomodoro timer. And you can use it on your phone. There are apps out there which are Pomodoro timers, which allow you to start your time, and then it'll ring and let you know when your time's up, and then you can have your 5-minute break. But the key is to work consistently, uninterrupted, and get into a flow state. And when your phone or when your timer rings, then you need to jump out of that state and relax and have a break until you commence your next task and your next time block of focused effort. So the last point from this book is that you need to basically commit to the Pomodoro technique if you want to get the most out of it. And commitment means commitment. You need to stick to the rules. And once you've established your rules, you basically need to stick to them. And sticking to the rules means not having any half sessions, no cheating, and to understand that there's always something more you can do within your time allocation to get your activity done. The bottom line from this author is that he guarantees that this technique works, and he invites us all to give it a go, to give it a crack. So this technique is great for school kids, it's great for adults, it's great for people of all ages, because what it does is it gets you to learn how to focus for a 20 to a 40-minute session and gets you into that state of flow where you become one with the work and you become extremely efficient and effective. The main objective is that we need to become obsessed with efficiency and effectiveness, because we live in a disjointed world. We live in an interrupted world, so much so that we get interrupted on average every 8 minutes in the workplace. So in order to get 10 times more productivity completed and to become a superstar and a super performer, then you need to focus your effort and to break your tasks, to schedule your tasks into 20 to 40 minute time slots, and to go hard and fast and be as focused as you possibly can within that time frame. And what you'll do is you'll develop skills, you'll develop capacity to be able to become the best at what you do, and then you'll love this technique and you'll thrive on this technique. So that's about it. So thank you very much for joining me on Jim's 5 a.m. Club on this wonderful Friday afternoon down by the harbour. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, stay reasonable, and most importantly, let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well, and I feel absolutely great. And to wish everybody a wonderful Friday evening, rest of the Friday afternoon, a beautiful and productive weekend, and may you also see if you can incorporate some of these Pomodoro techniques into your work ethic, where you break your work down into chunks, which are 30, 20, 30 or 40 minute time slots, where you work in a focused manner, non-stop for that time period, and then you have a 5-minute break before you start it all again. This is absolutely superb, a superb technique for those students who are studying at school or at university. It's also great for those working in an office where you can just hammer out your work and get into that important flow state where you become one with the wave, one with the work, and one with the wind. Anyway, let's finish off, and I look forward to coming to you again from another location with another message, a message of empowerment, a message that can lift us and be the wind beneath our wings and help us get through the morning, get through the day, and look forward to the weekend. So until we talk again, enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Even though it's a little bit overcast, there's a gentle breeze coming through and it is nice and warm and not a bad summer's day, even though we're almost getting to the end of summer. Ciao for now and bye from Jim on Jim's 5am Club.